Whoa, weird mouse. Yeah, I want to talk. I want to talk a bit. And I don't really have any, I still hear this thing. I don't have many tools to provide the talking to you. And I thought that this tool, having Minecraft open, I'm actively interacting with it right now. This would be an okay method to give me a means to chat. And what could I possibly want to be chatting about? Uh, well, I mean, just kind of want to talk about what I've been doing, what I've been thinking about, and where I might be going. And I think those things are important if I want to provide something for others, right? If I want to spend my time doing something for other people, what am I going to be doing? How am I going to do it? Why am I going to do it? And also, what about myself? What am I doing for myself? What am I providing for myself? And I'll try to get at that, but firstly, I've been just focusing on some things that perhaps are hard to share. And I mean that in the sense that just like a lot of practice with instruments, and it's been pretty rough. I would consider it pretty rough. And the reason I would consider it pretty rough is because I've felt like there's been a lack of progress. Now there has been progress. I intellectually know that. I can't not avoid it, but my feelings, how I feel, it hurts quite a bit. I find that I have just spent so much time and felt like I have reaped very little reward. And that really doesn't feel good, right? That feels terrible. No one likes to feel like something they spend a lot of time on isn't giving them what they want. I feel that's a terrible feeling. It's like, well, why I do this? If this is all I receive out of doing this, maybe I should just do something else or do nothing at all. And that's definitely been a thought. But it doesn't control me. I've found that some things are just very difficult for me, maybe more so than others, and some things I'm better at and I'm stronger. Let's say an example would be just certain chord shapes, right, on guitar. Very uncomfortable for me to do. Intellectually, it's not difficult because I've already done all the intellectual work. It's like, oh, okay, I can get to this point. And so I'm fine on that. But the intellectual part's whatever, because you need to be able to actually do it, right? You need to be able to actually play. So that's been a bit upsetting, right? Just realizing that. And of course I can do different variations of the same thing, but there's just a bit of discomfort, and then there's frustration, and frustration leads to doubt, and doubt leads to stopping, and there's that. And I would say maybe something that was more recent, piano, for example, that has been better, a lot. I've made quite a bit of progress. I mean, it's only been a couple months, right? I mean, only a couple months, and I feel like it's been good for for that amount of time. And it makes me wonder, well, if, all the time I've just put into something as basic as a scale on guitar, it's just like, wow, uh, this would have been learned so quickly, and I would have moved on to other things, and I probably would have gotten a lot more enjoyment. But whatever, it's okay. That's whatever. I need to find something to do. I'm going to mine trees. I'm gonna mine trees. And yeah, we also could mention bass, right? Bass has been okay, right? It's been okay, not great, but definitely not as bad as guitar. I also would mention that I had a moment when I was doing a certain job, certain contract, like I didn't play very much of anything. I didn't really. I would just kind of like pick it up for a few minutes, pick up bass for a few minutes, and that was it. And that's all I did. So, maybe I also have to acknowledge that there was a pause in the practice that I was doing. But even so, it's still a lot of time, and I wish that I would have, or I just don't feel like I've received much in response to the time I've put in. And that's very frustrating, of course, very, very frustrating. But nonetheless, I keep going, and I keep going. And I guess at this point, there's a lot of things to practice, a lot. But I'm trying to open up to allowing myself to have fun, enjoy some things, maybe even feel. I'm allowing myself to feel once in a while if I feel like I've earned it. And it's mostly come in the form of classical and jazz. I feel like those two things. Of course, jazz is a lot about improvising, but I'm just allowing myself to learn basic progressions and the basic progressions and melodies, and then I can view that, understand that, let that become a part of me, and then I can see what other options are available from one progression to the next. That's going to sound nice, and that's a big task. And doing that on more than one instrument it's also a big task. But I understand the concept pretty straightforward with like bass more than anything. With piano, there's still more to learn, and guitar is a nightmare. So basically, yeah, just gotta practice and play, and I gotta play some more, and I gotta learn, and I gotta just do that forever, I guess. Also, slowly allowing myself to do things that I just feel like I want to do. I have this thing in my head. Let me actually do something with it rather than just ignore it and let it just go away. And I posted two videos recently that were influenced by a particular interaction, and that interaction led to things being made, which is good. And I have other things in my mind which I haven't done more with, which I need to do, and I eventually will. But it's gonna take a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. A little bit, only a little bit, not a lot, I promise. And that's been a lot of my time, if not all of it. Even within that, even like very recently, I was, I mean, I still am, but I was just so like even worse than I am now in some ways. Other ways, I'm a lot worse now, but it was just like a complete state of, I don't want to call it dysfunction, but I wasn't working and I wasn't really doing anything. I wasn't writing, I wasn't talking to people. I was just like, day after day, I was listening and watching to like police interrogations and police like uh, arrests uh, over and over, just hours of that, hours and hours and hours and hours of that. I'm just doing like physical piano exercises. That's all I'm doing. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing, and plus I'm doing like the same exercise for like 3 hours. I'm just doing the same exercise for like 3 hours, and I take a break and I do like a different exercise for another 3 hours. It's like what? And that's all I was doing. And then the police interrogations and stories and whatever. So I mean, I can like smile and laugh about it now, but it's like I was dying, and right now I'm dead. But it was definitely rough. It was definitely rough. I was just, I was really very simply doing basically nothing. And I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to think, didn't want to feel, didn't want to. And I don't really want to now, but I just don't really have a choice anymore. I just have to do something. Otherwise, I'm gonna like actually snap. I mean, I've always thought, oh, well, I'm gonna snap. Oh, I'm breaking. But now it's a bit, almost there. So, yeah, it's relevant. And that writing thing, I've mentioned already. The writing, not something that's been present at all, very much. And, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I don't think it is gone forever. Uh, or maybe I do think that, but I'm foolishly hoping that's not the case. Because if it is the case, that would make me very uh, upset. It would make me very upset. It would make me incredibly upset. So, I would rather hope or believe that's not the case. It's definitely not the case. It's not the case. But we shall see. We shall see with time. I haven't had exactly much to write about. I guess perhaps I haven't been questioning very much that would lead to something being written, right? I'm not questioning, oh well, or wanting to share anything. I don't really have anything to say on perception. It's like I could say things, but I just don't really care. Maybe I'm a bit apathetic to the idea of just writing or sharing that. It doesn't seem to provide me with anything, and it doesn't seem to provide me with anything, so why bother? Why bother? If it's not going to provide me with anything, then I shouldn't bother. I don't think that's unreasonable. Well, it's not. It's not unreasonable. It's not at all, actually. And so I'm not. And I would like to provide something, right? I want to provide something. It just seems that what is working for me, if we want to call it that, really it's not even working. But it's just I don't have anything else. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. And it's not like the most terrible thing. It's not like totally agonizing all of the time. I have to be getting something out of it, otherwise I surely would have stopped by now. I guess there's still time for that to happen. But there's that, right? There's all the music stuff, and there's the lack of writing. I probably mentioned drawing at some point, right? That dropped off. Probably I don't even know how many months ago, but it stopped. I just stopped having interest in doing that, and I haven't regained the interest, and I don't know if I will regain the interest. It's not something that's exactly I'm dying for. I'm not. There's nothing I want to draw. There's nothing that's like, oh wow, I really would like to draw this. So, well, then I don't draw. Same like the writing stuff. Although the writing, I will give one exception. I do have a fantasy. This fantasy is making a visual novel with other people, and this kind of can delve into what I've been doing recently. So when I get home after work, I have rituals. I like to shower and eat. But if I'm eating alone, for one, and two, I'm eating in my room. So I'm in front of a computer screen, and if I'm in front of a computer screen, then I'm dying for stimulation. I need stimulation. So YouTube videos, I haven't watched. I don't really watch them. They're not really good. Post police interrogations. I guess that stopped me from enjoying any type of video content available to me, so I stopped watching it. And okay, well, what are you doing then? I am playing visual novels. I'm playing visual novels, and they're not all bad. Some are bad, but some are good. And a lot are unfinished. I've been playing a lot of the ones that I've enjoyed. They're unfinished. I can't even complete them, and I don't know if they might not ever be completed. But it is what it is, I suppose. And so I've been playing visual novels after I get home and clean up, and I probably as I'm eating, and I enjoy them. I enjoy them quite a bit because I haven't really read anything in a very long time. In probably the same amount of time. Oh, well, no, not the same amount of time that I last wrote something, but not too distant of a time period from that. Unless you include audiobooks, but I'm not including audiobooks for the moment. And being able to get anything from that realm when reading used to feel, oh well, I'm enjoying this, I feel like I'm getting something out of this, to I don't feel anything. Getting that out of a visual novel is nice. And if it's done very well, I start to care about the fictional characters, but it's very rare that it's done that well. But sometimes it is. So that's been that takes up time. That's time expenditure. That's time usage, time utilization, time participation. Yeah, and it's it's not the worst way to use time, but I'm tired at those times, more so than maybe right now. And I need to do something because I can't sleep either. So it's not. It works. It works. That's all I can say. It works. And eventually I will struggle to find another visual novel that I want to read. But until then, I'm gonna keep doing it. And they've all been like furry visual novels, not because they need to be, but because they're tends to be good visual novels that are furry themed. And, well, if I have to just stay within that certain theme to get a good visual novel, then I'll do it. That's fine. What else? I've I've been working out. I've been physically taking care of myself. Um, it doesn't really bring me anything mentally. It doesn't like, oh wow, this feels good. Or I look at myself in the mirror and like, wow, I look better. I'm totally apathetic, but I'm doing it anyway. Um, because one, I said I would. So other people have the expectation that's what I'm doing, and two, um, I'm just in this circumstance where to not do that would be silly and a waste. That's a present, healthy body, healthy mind. I think that's what some say. I don't quite believe them. But I probably have particular reasons why that might not work the same way. So, it's staying healthy. Sometimes I am still hopping on VR chat and desktop. That happens occasionally. Infrequent, but not never. It happens. You talk to some people, and I tend to find that it's greatly dissatisfying. It doesn't seem to provide me with very much, when previously it would provide me with much more. And I can't really get too upset about it. Just have to deal with it. So I am. And I think part of it just has to do with my growing disconnect with other people. I have a continual disinterest in having that connection. And the question, of course, is why? Why is that occurring? Why are you experiencing that? And the best conclusion that I've drawn myself to is that I don't find that there's any reason. There's any reason to connect. There's no reason. I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of the connection. And I don't really feel like I'm providing anything either. Or sometimes I do feel like I'm providing something, but usually as a result of providing, you also get something back. It doesn't need to be material. It just needs to be, oh, I feel like the words I'm saying have a positive impact, and that those chemicals in my brain make me want to continue doing that again. It just isn't happening. And, well, what can you do? You can keep trying it and keep trying it, but I've decided that I'll just stop or keep it minimal, because I still crave it, right? I still crave the feelings that have been experienced as a result of talking with others and chatting it up and connecting with others. But whenever that's presented to me, or I'm part of that, I actively feel distant. I don't feel present. I don't want to say disassociated, because I'm not trying to disassociate, but I definitely don't feel like I'm there. It's a bit tiring as well, but it's not always tiring. Sometimes it does feel energizing, but it's just so rare. Why is it so rare for it to feel energizing? Don't quite know why that is. Maybe one theory could be that I'm suppressing myself in many ways, and anytime I've not been in a state of suppressing myself, I decided to express myself. It was not met with positive results, and based on those experiences, I've decided, oh, well, maybe I just won't do it. Because I know how to get positive reactions out of people. I know what to say and how to act. And sure, I can act in those ways, but that's like the most tiring. It's the worst. And so I don't want to do that, or I want to minimize it. What else have I been doing? I guess working. I've been working again. It's not that much, but it's, you know, it's time. It is time being taken away from me. I do the work, and it's, you know, I don't really want to talk about it. Doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me feel okay. It doesn't make me proud of myself. In fact, it makes me wonder, you know, I kind of mentioned this to someone already, how I feel like many of the comments people have told me, oh, you're so smart, you're so intelligent, you're so positive attribute. And yeah, I'm in the position that I'm in, right? I'm doing the things that I do, and it doesn't seem like there's any alternative. It doesn't seem like I can actively change things. I think there was a moment where I did feel that way, and we'll get to that in a second. But as it stands now, that doesn't feel possible. And, well, I'm essentially saying I'm hopeless. And I also feel like I've been lied to. Because if I truly were those positive attributes, surely, right, I would not be in this position, right? Things wouldn't be this way. Or I would have found a way to get myself onto that path, onto a path that would give me a desirable life, right? And it doesn't feel like I'm there. It doesn't feel like I'm on that path. And it hurts, right? It hurts a lot. It hurts to be in that situation. It hurts to feel like it's truly hopeless. Like it's you're powerless. You're powerless, and you've been lied to by other individuals saying how this and that you are, and you have nothing to show for it. In fact, all you have to show is quite the opposite of those attributes. So it makes you feel like I said, you've been lied to. So this comes back to, like I mentioned, I'd come back to it, a moment where I didn't feel hopeless. And I've already mentioned this period of time, and that was probably December, January-ish. January was probably like the ending bit of it, but definitely December, at least some weeks of December, not all of December, of course not, but definitely some weeks of December. And that was mostly because like the YouTube stuff was going well. It was growing rapidly, much faster than I had anticipated. I didn't really have high expectations at all, but it was happening, right? It was happening at all, which is, wow, that's really surprising. This is happening. This is really happening. The thing I'm doing, the thing I'm putting my soul into, the thing that I'm putting all my energy into is actually leading to something. Maybe it isn't all for nothing. Maybe it isn't all worthless. Maybe I do have a chance. Maybe I can make something out of this. And you could say I made something out of it. I made a community in some sense, of which is very it's basically just a few individuals mostly talking. There's like 70 something people on a Discord server, but that doesn't really matter if 70 of those people out of the 70 something don't actually talk at all. They don't add anything, they don't provide anything. Right, okay. Well, great. You have all these people, but only a couple are actually providing anything. So there's that. I mean, it's there, it's present, right? I've connected with a couple individuals, and that's good, right? It's what I wanted, and I also gave an environment for those people to connect, and they have. So that's good for them as well. It's for them to intermingle and, have their friendships, and I'm happy to have done something to provoke them to group together, provide something for them to group together in. And then it was their own, let's say, urgency to go ahead and actually make those connections happen. So that's nice. That's good. That's definitely one part of what I wanted to do, right? And I also wanted to, I think the wording I explicitly used was ease my loneliness or something like that. That didn't really happen. That didn't happen at all. But I think it has happened for others, which is good, which is very good. That's that's great actually. So great. We've got like two good wins, But there's another thing. Money, right? Money. Because if I were receiving monetary gain, that would be the ultimate reinforcement to do something. Right? Why do we work? We work for money. And why do we want money? So we can live. And why do we want to live? Because we're alive. And I'm alive too. I might be spiritually dead, and I might not have a heart, but I'm still alive. And because of that, no matter how hard I try to undo it, I still have the want or interest to continue living. And so if I have to be in that situation, what am I gonna? I want to do something that's gonna make me happy. It's gonna, not even happy, but satisfying. I want to do something that's gonna make me feel like what I'm doing matters, and I feel like I'm gaining something out of it, and it's not wearing me down. Or if it is wearing me down, I have the time to heal back up so I can do it again. And seeing the rapid growth, and it's like, wow, people are getting something out of this, viewership, and wow, what I'm doing is doing it's meaning something. It has meaning. That's good. When you've had the thought for the past 7 years that everything is meaningless, and that you shouldn't do anything, that I shouldn't do anything, and it would be a waste to do anything, and I should just die, etc., etc. And then, oh wow, well, maybe I do it. Maybe that was all a lie. Maybe. And for a bit, it was working. It was good. It was probably the greatest high I've ever had. But it ended, right? It ended because I didn't have as much time, so I couldn't really provide the same quality of both video content or writing. So, the quality's gone down. And then eventually, I was struggling to write it all, and I was forcing things out, and that even that decreased the writing quality even further. And then I lost the interest to write at all. And then that was the final nail in the coffin. And then that was it. Done. And that's it's definitely upsetting. It's definitely heartbreaking. It hurts. It hurts quite a bit. Because it felt like I was almost there. Almost, but it's always an almost, right? It's I'm almost there. I've almost got it. I've realized there's a pattern with instruments as well. Oh, I feel like I'm almost there. I can almost taste it. I almost can have some amount of control, and then weeks pass, and it's like, oh yeah, well, yep. All I've done is set myself up to practice something else, work on something else, play something different, and you know, there's no cataclysmic change that never comes. That never comes. And that also hurts a lot. It also hurts a lot. So, YouTube, right? It didn't really work out, and I don't suppose there's much healing from it. And that, I mean, it is what it is. Already mentioned, I've also lost some methods to creating the same type of content, and I could do something different. But what I was doing, at least I thought it was a good way to handle things. I didn't want to put my face in front of a camera. I didn't want to do that. But I still wanted to showcase emotions. So, the face tracking headset was good for that, and then further with body language, body trackers were good for that. And that worked. The next step, right, if I couldn't do that, and I still wanted to do much of the same thing, it would just be coping, and putting the camera on. Just putting a camera on and talking. And finding some other means to giving supporting information or feeling to the content. Because I was definitely lazy to some extent with especially the video editing. I was particularly lazy with the video editing. There's much more that could have been done there, but it was simple, and I think that was appreciated by at least a few people. Well, that's good. It meant less work for me, and it meant I could focus on other things. Within the time frame of wanting to make a video every week or 3 days, every 3 days, which was insane. Every 3 days, that's insane. But that doesn't happen anymore now, does it? It doesn't happen anymore. So I have some hope that we'll step into the new territory of, okay, well, it sounds like you're depressed. You made a video where you're like, literally just saying you want to die. What's the deal? What's the deal? Are you actually gonna help yourself, or are you just gonna whine and complain, sit on your hands, and nothing changes? Well, I'm actually doing things that I should have done a while ago. Talking to professionals, or a professional. I eventually will talk to another professional. I'm hoping with this second particular type of medical professional, I will be able to get help that will help with many issues. I have issues that have to do. Okay, maybe I don't want to explicitly state all of them, but there are ways for someone to cope with their situation, right? There's ways, and I have taken upon myself to use one of those ways, and it works kind of sometimes, but it also does a lot of damage. Physically and mentally. So there's a cost associated with it, and there's other things that it's not helping. So it would not last. So hopefully, talk to that. individual, and that will help a lot. And I talked with one of my friends, we'll say friends, and based on information they told me, with my particular method, let's say, I guess it actively can suppress creative agency or urgency or interest. I don't know why I had to use all those words when I just want to say interest. Just creativity suppresses that. And I will actively say, oh, I'm not a creative person. Yeah, okay, bud, you're not a creative person. Oh, everything's a derivative. Well, congrats, you're doing the same thing that anyone else is doing. Anyone else that creates anything. Oh, but I want to beat myself up and consider myself lower uh, for reasons that don't need to be talked of here. But I recognize that now, and I recognize that no, I do have some creativity. It might not be a lot, and in the ways that it exists might be not exactly the same as archetypal. I can't pronounce words either. It's a difficult one. I can't do things exactly in those ways. I don't I don't have a very active mental film or world, as in is not something to be seen. I think much more in monologues and dialogues especially. And because of that, I cannot, or maybe not, I can't, but I have a bit more struggle with, pictures in my mind. But there was a moment where I was working that part of my mind, and it was getting better. But I stopped working that part of my mind, and it stopped, and I knew that was going to happen, and I'm okay with that. But there's also other parts that get suppressed as a result of my methods, which inhibit me from enjoying anything. Because those methods, such as writing, the one thing that seemed to work for me, stopped working. And that is not good. That is not good at all. That's not good. So hopefully I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe it is these methods that impair me. And in changing the methods and correcting them, the creative mind will much more come back online. Because it's not totally inactive. It's not totally gone away. Because I still musically am having creative ideas. But I think that's much more because I'm thinking logically with my musical ideas. I'm thinking about, well, this is this, and this has this much distance, and this will sound like this, and this sounds good, so I'm gonna keep doing this, and that works. That's a fine method. But sometimes it's just like, oh, well, I've just done this like weird thing, or no, not even that. I just have this melody in my head, and I want to do something with this. I like this melody in my head. I want to execute it onto a tool, all right, whatever instrument that is, and I want to do that. I think I would have. I think I used to have that, but yeah, not anytime recently. So once that is cleared up, once those things are cleared up, at least a little bit, I am hoping, I am really hoping that I'll be able to write again. Even just for myself. If I can't make videos, alright, whatever. It's not, I've lived in the world where that wasn't the case. I've it's fine. It's whatever. But if I can at least write, oh, that would be so good. It would be so good for me. It would be so good just to find the words again, or just even have the want to find those words, to use the words, rather than being now. I can ramble to you. That's what I'm doing. But to want to use the words in a certain way and in a do your best to do that, and oh, I really want to have people understand this, or I want to be able to look back upon this as an older self and know what I was feeling or thinking. I want to do that, wanting to want to do that, rather than just not caring at all, which is, well, you get the present. Get the present, my present. We shall, of course, we'll see. We'll see in time whether that will happen or not. Fingers crossed. There was another thing that I did a little bit before I started my most recent job, which was playing World of Warcraft. Wait, let me specify. I was playing World of Warcraft Classic. I was playing Classic. I was playing WoW Classic, like every day. And it wasn't even bad. It wasn't even bad. It wasn't even bad. I was playing with a friend, and they made it like bearable. They made it good, right? They made it good. Because it's like, okay, I'm playing the game where I click on things. I'm like, in the first like 2 hours I was paying attention to the story, then I stopped. Then it was like, oh, well, whatever. And we played then. I got to level 40 as a night elf druid. And then that was it. Then I stopped because I started working. No, well, I was doing it a little bit while working, but I only for like 2 days. But then it was like, well, you know what? I don't need to do this anymore. I have my time being sucked up by something else. I'll just focus on like the music stuff before I go to work. And that's what I've been doing. That's how it is currently. But yeah, I was playing WoW. And honestly, it's kind of like it's kind of like a joke to me in a sense, because I had made jokes not only to this person but a lot to this person about like, oh, if I played WoW I'd be addicted, and in an alternate timeline I play WoW every day and that's all I do, and I'm happy just playing WoW every day, and I am on the wrong path and I should play WoW all the time instead. There was a lot of joking about that, and then I played it and I was right. But I stopped again. I stopped because I told you I wanted to do music stuff instead. But man, that time I played WoW, it was good. It was good stuff. If I suddenly came into a large if I suddenly had a large amount of money, I would be spending my time, of course, mostly on the music stuff, and then getting healed up and hopefully writing, blah blah blah. But another large, a significant amount of time would be dedicated to WoW Classic. Because what can you do? What can you do without WoW Classic? It's a rough world. It's a rough world, and you want to grind. Deep down, you want to grind. No matter what you're doing, you need to have grinding aspects to it. You want to grind at something, and you can grind. I have things to grind at. I'm actively grinding at many different things. I'm grinding at physically working my body. I'm grinding at working. I'm grinding at instrumentation. I'm mining brainlessly at Minecraft trees for wood I won't use because I need to grind. I need to grind no matter what. And guess what? An MMO offers that. But there's something about WoW Classic. It's just like grinding, but there's like soul. There's like soul there. There's like people used to care about this. You know, people wanted to put something like finished together. They wanted people to really work on this. And or just like pure WoW Classic is like really slow. It was like I'm playing like a faster version. You level up faster and stuff. But it's basically WoW Classic. It's not WoW Classic vanilla. But it wasn't Cataclysm either. I wasn't playing that. But I was going to after I like maxed out a character in pure Classic. But anyway, yes, you get that grinding, and it was good, and it was soulful, and it's like, oh, I like the environments, I like these fantasy environments a lot, and when I get to talk with someone, and I think that talking with probably one of my favorite things that was coming out of that, because maybe it wasn't always meaningful chat, but sometimes, it was. Sometimes I got something out of it. And if I wasn't, or either of us couldn't really provide anything, didn't have anything to say, we've got the grinding. We can still grind. It still feels like we're, if we stretch it, being productive, doing something. We are actively going in a direction. We are actively working towards something. It feels good to work towards something. And that is something I want to speak on next because it is also very important. So going in a particular direction, I mean that you have a goal. You have a goal and you want to obtain something. You want to get something. For example, you have a goal of writing, sharing the writing on a website and making YouTube videos, and your goal is to gather up people. You have a clear goal, and you have a means to achieving that goal, or so you believe, and you will keep working at it. I had that, right? What I just gave an example of was reality. I was doing that. I had a goal, and I was working towards achieving that goal. I wanted to obtain that goal, and I learned of different ways or adding to methods to achieving that goal. And those methods, and mainly the writing, led to it being achieved, which was good. However, I failed in one aspect, which was I didn't think ahead enough. I didn't think ahead as to, oh, well, wait, what if this actually does happen? What am I gonna do if it does? What's next? And how do I prepare for what's next? Because if I had done that and I prepared for what was going to come next, assuming that was achieved, then maybe things could have turned out a bit better. It wouldn't have been like, oh, I'll just keep doing the same thing and hope it leads to something else. I should have been thinking, well, how am I going to get this next thing? And it has passed, right? It is what it is. And now, in the present, not writing, instrument stuff, well, it's like, what's my goal with that? I can have some like vague notions. Oh, I want to be able to express myself. Okay, well, that's great. In what way? In what way? There's many ways to do that using this tool. and I've just don't really. It's been hard to really go in a direction. Um, Maybe I had it in my head. I knew what that direction was, but maybe it's not really that way, or maybe I'm denying myself what I actually do desire. But anyway, been lacking, a clear direction, a goal. Okay, well, I'm going to achieve this, and I'm going to work towards it, getting to this thing, and then I'll think ahead as to, you know, what can go wrong, and dealing with what possibly could go wrong, and learning to work with what I have, and then building upon that, setting further goals further out, farther in the future. I want that. I need that to be in my life, because if it's not, I am aimless. And if I'm aimless, then doing anything is just as good as doing anything else or nothing. So I have to be very careful. I have to be very careful, and I have to actively start setting goals for me to achieve that I want. And I continually have vague notions of what I want, but it's like I can't actively feel like I can get those things with the tools I have. So let's say the expression, like I'm now at this point, it's like, okay, well, you have to do something, and what I'm trying to do now is push myself into learning particular types of music and understanding how they function, and thinking about them, and feeling them, trying to feel them. And those being classical and jazz, I feel like those two have attracted me enough, and I want to keep pushing myself in those directions. So I'm going to continue pushing myself in those directions. And we'll see what comes of it. And if I want to change my path, I have to be okay and willing to let myself alter. And for a while, there was no direction. I wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna finally learn some of these things and work on these weak things. It took a while to even get to that point of, okay, I gotta do something. And that's just musically. Let's say another vague thing, a vague goal, of a vague want. I would really want to do things that I enjoy doing, and be able to make a living from doing those things. Oh, well, what things? Well, before my collapse, I guess, writing was there. And how was I going to achieve that? Well, I wasn't really sure, but YouTube stuff maybe made me believe it could be in that direction. But it maybe because of me, or maybe because, no, definitely because of me. But what about me? The quality of my writing, or maybe just what I was writing about, it wasn't going to lead to that. That wasn't going to happen, at least not as the content was, not in the state that it was. It would have to be different. So, great. Well, that means I would have had to try some new things and keep working at it, but ran out of steam, ran out of fuel, burnt out, lost interest, lost hope. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, well, maybe it's like, okay, theoretically, music stuff, right? Surely something, but that is nowhere near possible currently. I just don't have the skills. I don't have the skills to make things that I think are worth listening to, that people would be interested in. I'm just not there yet. I can make things, but those things, are pretty bland. I'm pretty bland currently. It's not good. Not good if you want people to be interested. Well, you know what? I've considered other methods. Oh, well, I could go to college, I guess, and get a degree in something. Not like any of those degrees really interest me, and none of those things I'm dying to be. Um, they would lead to a path that's less miserable than the one I'm on now. I wouldn't be it would eventually lead to me not being doing the same thing, or there wouldn't be a guarantee, but it's likely that it would get me off of doing the same things that I'm doing now. Which is, it's something. It's something. Problem is, I don't want it. I don't want college. I don't want to go to college. I don't want to spend all that money getting in debt, learning a thing that I am apathetic towards, to then go get the job that I'm slightly less miserable at. Doesn't that seem a bit insane? Doesn't that seem a bit completely insane? I think that sounds just totally absurd. However, sometimes you feel like you're running out of options. Sometimes you feel like you're running out of options, and I feel like I'm running out of options. How much longer can I keep doing things as they are? How much longer can I keep doing this? How much longer can I keep trying and trying? How much longer? It doesn't feel like much longer, and really, I'm post burnt out. I'm far beyond burnt out at this point. I'm like, I don't know. It's not whatever it is. It's not good. It's not good at all. And healing doesn't feel like an option right now. It doesn't even feel available. So I just keep doing it. I just keep going at things in similar ways, slowly getting changes in there. But a lot of it hurts still, because it doesn't feel like that change is. Nothing's happening fast enough. Maybe I'm impatient. Maybe I'm incredibly impatient. But I feel like I have the right to be impatient. I feel a bit entitled. And is that foolish? Yeah, of course it is. Of course it's foolish. But why? Why is that there? It's because I feel like I didn't have time. I didn't feel like I had a childhood like others did. Maybe ages, like until I reached like 12, 13, it was relatively normal. It was a childhood. But after that, no, I don't think I had that. I think I was too busy suppressing, disassociating, and just trying to get away from the reality of my life. Right? Doing everything I can to just get by, just to survive. And I'm essentially, how I described it to someone else was time skipping. I just skipped time. And I just stopped being present, really. I just fast forwarded. I didn't do anything. And I didn't literally do nothing. Oh, I'd play a video game a bit, or video games sometimes. I watched a lot of anime. Okay, I watched some other shows. Okay, that's it. That's all there was. That's all there was. And that's just so terrible. And that is just so fucking terrible. And I can't undo that. And it's not even like I blame myself. I don't blame myself at all. I don't blame myself at all. But that's what happened. And so, you know, if I had all that time, right? If I had all that time to do the things that maybe I'm doing now, if I could just like all the time I'm spending now and then just, you know, just put it all over those couple of years, 7 years or whatever. Or like 5, it was like 5 years. I like 6 years I lost. Realistically, 5-6 years. The point is, you know, spread, you know, everything I've done in the past like 2 years or so upon those like 5 years, I would be nothing like I am now. I wouldn't be nearly as impatient as I am now, because I wouldn't be dying for anything. I wouldn't be in that state, because I'd be like, oh well, I've, you know, this has been a part of me for a while. I've got some comfort with these things. I have some control over these things because it's been over this many years, and you know, I haven't lost them. But now it's like, and in that situation, it's like, okay, well, if I really start working at it now, well, this is actual. I'm gonna progress pretty quickly. That is not the case as now, because I didn't have that. It's all happening now. And I don't have anything now. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. And some might say, well, that's not true. You clearly have things. You clearly do. You said you're playing instruments, and you're playing your visual novels, and you're you know, working out. And it's maybe not even, maybe they only want to hark on me for like, oh, the writing that I had, or the instruments now. It's, well, you have that, right? You have that. And it's like, sure, but I don't have any control with these things. I can't, it's like I can do things, but it's not very much. Not very much. I can't create with them, really. I want to do that. It's not really having it. It's just like I'm learning how to have it. I'm in progress to obtaining it. And eventually I'll get there, supposedly. And yeah, I mean, I need something, right? Otherwise, it's just like anything. And this comes back to, I mean, I literally was just saying this with the writing. It was like, oh, I feel like I'm getting something. I feel like I'm finally going somewhere. This is all paying off. All this fucking agony is paying off. Maybe it isn't all agony. Maybe I see the light. Maybe I see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it was just like, it was like a lie. It was like my brain created the light. It created it for me. Because if I didn't see that light, I would have, you know, I didn't get that flicker of hope. You know, it's just, I don't know. Yes. Do I have anything else to really say? I feel like I've expended a lot of my energy here trying to share some thoughts with you. And I don't really know if they're all that meaningful. I don't know if they really are even worth sharing. I mean, of course, I can decide at a later point to keep it to myself if I truly think that's the case. We both know that's not gonna happen, is it? I gotta, well, you know, maybe one person will get one of these ideas, one of these thoughts. Maybe they'll resonate, relate. I think I have another thing. And that's collaboration. I want to collaborate with other people, and I've wanted this for a long time, just to work with someone or other people to create something greater than what we could do by our individual selves. You know, I like that. I like how that feels. It feels good to do that. But it just doesn't seem to ever happen. The one example I can bring up is like a game jam. Oh, I'm actively collaborating with people, and I'm writing, and I'm talking with them, and we're all really trying our hardest to do this thing within this certain time frame. You know, we are doing our best, and I'm not the only one trying my hardest. You know, we're all trying our hardest, and we're all working towards the same thing. We all want the same thing. That's good. I like that a lot. But currently, I don't have that. I don't have that. And I've definitely asked around. You know, I try to get people, but they don't want to. They don't want to do it, or they say they're interested, but nothing ever comes of it. Nothing ever comes of it. And then if nothing ever comes of it, it's like, okay, well, that's it. That's fine then. Then I'll just drop it. And then I never get to have that. Writing with other people would be very good. I would enjoy that quite a bit. And I would like writing with other people. It might even help me write again. Once again, visual novel fantasy. Oh, I'm gonna write all this character dialogue, and I'm gonna work with other people to do this, and it's gonna be great. But that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I'm gonna work on this idea and have someone else work with me, and we're gonna flesh it out together, and we're gonna have something complete at the end of this. Oh, that's good, but that doesn't happen. Oh well, the music stuff. I'm gonna work with someone, and we're gonna make something, and we're gonna whatever it is. Doesn't even matter what it is. Doesn't matter if I'm playing any instruments, or I'm I don't even care. I'm gonna write something for you. I'm gonna give you ideas. I'm gonna do something, and we're gonna do something with this. It's, you know, that's it's just not in my world. And I want that. And it's not like, let's say musically, it's not like I want to be in a band. I don't really have that interest. I don't really have the interest to be working with too many other people. I feel like a few other people is more than enough. With music stuff, I feel like just one other person would be plenty. I don't think I would need more than one other person. Because it's not like I want to play live or anything. I don't want to do that. I just want to make things that feel right. That's all. So collaboration would be great. It would be great. But, you know, I'm in reality. So I'm not getting that. What am I doing to try and get that? Well, I tried getting a bunch of people together that might want that, but it seemed like they're dying for it. So, whatever. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up. Talked long enough, and mined enough trees to have plenty of logs, which I'm sure will be useful in the far future. But until then, I will see you next time.